The fraternity at LSU is being investigated for a hazing incident that allegedly put one student in the hospital with severe alcohol poisoning.
That student appears to be linked to a female student who committed suicide later that night. Both of those LSU students are from the New Orleans area. Erica Ferrando has the latest on that investigation.
An LSU fraternity is suspended amid a hazing investigation after a 2020 Jesuit graduate went to the hospital with severe alcohol poisoning. The same night, a 19-year-old female LSU student reportedly took her own life. Both students are from New Orleans. It all started with a Phi Kappa Psi gathering off campus Sunday night in Baton Rouge, according to LSU officials. While police have not officially tied the suicide to the alleged hazing incident, the Baton Rouge Advocate reports the young man was headed to the woman's apartment near LSU's campus before being brought to the hospital with severe alcohol poisoning. Several hours later, the young woman was found dead inside her apartment from an apparent suicide, according to the coroner's office. Her apartment now overwhelmed with flowers, pictures, and balloons in her memory. LSU suspended Phi Kappa Psi fraternity pending an investigation. The East Baton Rouge District Attorney sent a statement saying, in speaking with the LSU PD detectives, the case looks extremely similar in many aspects to the Groover case, with the exception that there is not a death. The Max Groover case happened in September 2017. He died of alcohol poisoning in what was described as a hazing ritual at the Phi Delta Theta house, which is now banned from LSU's campus until at least 2033. Former student Matthew Knockhand was found guilty last November of negligent homicide and sentenced to 2 years in prison. And in 2018, Governor John Bel Edwards signed into law the Max Groover Act and other anti-hazing bills meant to curb hazing and increase penalties. LSU police are investigating this most recent hazing case. So far, there have not been any criminal charges. LSU says the male student is now out of the ICU. Erica Ferrando, Eyewitness News.
We did request a statement from Phi Kappa Psi, but did not hear back. LSU police were also investigating the fraternity for an alleged hazing incident that happened last month.